Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. This is the second part of two videos regarding Erich Schwer's ex-girlfriend exposing him for his breakup with her days before he went on The Bachelorette. It involves spoilers for how Gabby's season of The Bachelorette ends, although, as you guys know, no one really knows what's about to go down this coming Tuesday, part 2 of the finale of Bachelorette. Could this be a season of The Bachelorette where they make a part 3 finale? Just, hey, the season's not over. We might as well keep it going. I'm also going to have updates on Tino and Rachel and what goes down with them in the safe house visit. So if you saw the preview for the finale of The Bachelorette, Rachel and Tino get in a fight. We now know what that is. That's a separate video. If you don't want any of these spoilers, get out of here. Come on, what are you doing? All right, but in the meantime, like I said, we don't know how it ends with Erich and Gabby, but we know Erich is her finalist. He's the last man standing. And now we have yesterday screen grabs, basically a statement from this lady, Amanda, and what she had to say regarding how Erich broke up with her moments before going on the show. She's a single mom, and of course, Erich's been involved in lots of drama recently. Last week, he had to post an apology on his Instagram page after a photo of him in blackface dressed as Jimi Hendrix surfaced from a 2011 yearbook photo in Bedminster, New Jersey. And also, unfortunately, last month, his dad passed away after a long battle, I believe, with cancer. His dad was featured on the Hometowns episode. So I ask my audience this. Don't you ever, if you're a fan of what I do and the content we make, don't you ever reach out to these contestants. Just leave them alone. They are already going through so much. Both Amanda, single mom, and also Erich. Yes, that means having grace for both sides. We don't want anyone to have any mental health problems, self-harm, all those types of things. They've already got the weight of the world on their shoulders. Stay out of there. Oh my gosh, if I ever see any of you guys, I'm like a dad. If I ever see any of you guys on their pages, because I'm going to share with you people leaving horrific comments on Amanda's page saying she's the clout chaser, and I'm going to share what Reality Steve has to say after speaking with Amanda. Reality Steve spoke with her. We're going to get into that right now, what he had to say. It's fascinating, and he also calls out some women in the Bachelor Nation and says, what's up with women hating on women? Because obviously we have an issue here where Amanda shares her story, and it could possibly wreck or very much damage the relationship between Erich and Gabby as it exists. All right, follow me on Instagram at @tneals. I have a stand-up show tonight in Monrovia. I'm also going to be on Patreon later today. I've got to take the dog to the vet to get vaccine shots because he's going to be going to boarding school while we go away on our wedding next month. Getting married. Of all this drama, we just have a happy wedding about to go down. A little bit of stress there, planning for it, but we're getting ready for that. If you want all the details and behind-the-scenes access to the wedding, I'll be posting video clips and all that information on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. All right, we've also got our teacher of the day, Miss Pitson in Virginia. She went from first grade to now she's teaching fifth grade. So link in the comment section if you want to donate to our teacher. We appreciate in advance all of your generosity. All right, so Bachelor Nation Scoop posted this yesterday. All the screen grabs that confirm Amanda's story about how Erich and her broke up and all of that. We'll go back to the last video if you want to catch that. And now we've also got Amanda and what she said 16 weeks ago. She says, how I smile knowing I'm not getting engaged for clout. And then we'll read some of the unfortunate comments people are leaving for her. And like I said, last video, did Erich pull a Jed? Not exactly, but kind of close. And now let's hear what Reality Steve has to say. Of course, in his daily roundup, you can listen to the full conversation. And I'm not, sorry, he doesn't share the conversation with Amanda, but he kind of summarizes what he spoke to her about. You can go listen to that full podcast, Reality Steve's podcast, if you want, at realitysteve.com. Let's hear what he had to say.
She goes, so many people are messaging me. I think it got put out in the comment section of Bachelor Nation Scoop's Instagram feed post. So her name is Amanda Kaylor, Kaylor, and that is her Instagram name, at Amanda Kaylor. So you can clearly see who she is, unless she has set it to private in the last 12 hours since we spoke, or 8 hours, whatever it is. But Amanda, so I just called her because I wanted to know the timeline, because there was a couple things in there that was just like, I just need to know a few things. What's the story behind you guys?
Tattoos.
And here's the breakdown.
Nice.
They met in January of 2022, January of this year, and they met on Hinge. Erich is living in Santa Monica, and they hit it off and started dating. And essentially what she told me was, look, I understand it was only a 2.5-month relationship, but it was very fast. You'll see if Amanda hasn't gone private, you'll see that she has a son who I believe is 2.5. And Erich spent multiple days with her son. She said the week leading up to the last time she saw him, he spent the whole week with her and her son.
A reverse Nate, we call that.
And she said they spent every single day of March together before he left.
Wow.
He stayed at her place a lot. And you'll see in the text messages that on March 10th, Erich sent her a message that said,
so he's going through the messages now. It's all right. We got him pulled up, Steve. Okay. Well, let's go to...
Okay, yeah. I got it.
Okay.
On March 10th, he pulled up, he texted her and said, I got some news this morning that I need to talk to you about. And then she said, what? And that message was sent around 9 o'clock in the morning. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the next thing that was written in that text conversation was, not sure how you expected me to feel, but if that's your decision, best of luck. So essentially what I wanted to do was find out, was that the first time he brought it up to you? And her answer was yes. So on March 10th, the first time Erich ever brings up the fact that he's going to be on The Bachelorette is less than 2 weeks before he leaves for the show. Mind you, they had been seeing each other.
Probably waiting to see if he was going to be a finalist. Why bring it up unless it was the real deal?
From January, and he had spent numerous days with her and her son. And at that point, that was the first time she heard about The Bachelorette, which means that while he was developing a relationship with this woman, he was obviously in touch with production, interviewing with production, probably going to final casting weekend, and never told her until he found out that he was going to do the show or he had agreed to do the show. He had never brought it up until March 10th on that text when he said that. And it's rather interesting because she said he was at her house with her son all that week leading up to when he told her. And...
well, it makes you wonder, is it one of those situations where he just wasn't that into her, or was he into her? And again, these aren't me making sort of apologies or making light of the situation, but this is what we do. We hypothesize what the hell actually could have gone down, which of course, on our channel, we love to hear from you. 401-213-9828. Let us know what you think. Did he like her, but didn't like her enough as the sort of idea of the potential windfall that might come from going on the show? Was there a hang up that she had a child? I mean, you got to imagine. Look, I'm always single mom. Like, I got your back, single mom out there. Single moms, right? Maybe this year we'll do a toy drive specifically for single moms. Wouldn't that be a fun idea? I was raised by a single mom till a certain point in my life, and she met my stepdad. He's amazing, but I empathize to another level with the plight of young single moms out there. Now, that doesn't mean Erich has to become a stepdad. You might be mid to late 20s, late 20s. You're like, geez, I'm not ready to be a stepdad. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have any of these things. So finding a career opportunity, and again, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think he'll talk about it. I think this is something he'll have to talk about. It could affect his relationship for sure. He could be a better person because of it, but the collateral damage would be quite damning. All right, let's just go to the 14-minute mark here. Again, if you want to hear the full conversation on Reality Steve's page, by all means, go to realitysteve.com. He's got the info. Here it is, the second part.
Back from filming in May, he has sent one thing to her, which was this text on July 11th. And you can tell now, it seems like the goal of that text was to basically say, hey, please don't say anything, without him directly saying that. So
4 months later.
I mean, once again, just shady behavior. Like, I know that there are already people out there that are going after Amanda. Amanda did, and I told her this last night, and I'll say it publicly, she did nothing wrong here. She has every right to tell her story.
Absolutely.
Were they an exclusive, monogamous relationship? I don't know exactly what they labeled it. They weren't boyfriend, girlfriend. They weren't together really long enough. Did he say, I love you? No. But why is that the standard that we are setting here? I love how people are already saying, if she's not his girlfriend, why are we giving her the time of day? He didn't tell you he loves you. Get over it.
Yikes.
Why do women hate women so much?
Whoa.
I don't get it.
Now, obviously, Steve's generalizing. He knows it. He knows what he's doing here. Really, Steve knows what he's doing. But, yeah, there are people that will take, like, the man's side. And, you know, you might say, people will say, oh, it's the patriarchy, or this, that. I don't know. I don't want to go too far into the weeds of it. But there are people that are going to take the guy's side here and go, well, no, she's doing this for clout. Well, she's allowed to tell her story. So what is she supposed to do? Just let him run off, do his thing, and then she's like, all right, well, boys will be boys. You know what I mean? Where's the sort of unity here? The idea that we should back a single mom telling her story, right? Now, it doesn't mean he can't have learned from it and gone happy. Like I said, collateral damage. A little plane in the background there. Oh boy, is that Logan flying back from his from Amsterdam? Hold on, we've got the answers to the whole story here. Logan's UFO up there flying back after he caught COVID. All right, that's neither here nor there. So some of the comments support her and some don't. And this is on her page today, 32 minutes ago. Kind of wild how if she didn't expose this, she's the problem. And when she did expose this, she's the problem. He is the problem. Why are we still blaming hurt women for man's actions in 2022? If her post was just for clout, don't you think she would have posted it sooner? Clout is a side effect of exposing a manipulative person, and we don't get to decide how the victim of that should or shouldn't expose it. Oh, man, is that one rant. That is some rant right there in the comment section. And then Tiffany says, ma'am, I believe you dodged a bullet. You were stunning. It's giving, I'm jealous he got the clout that I wanted and actually fell in love too, says Stevie Boy, which is just BS. Cut the crap there. That's rubbish, Steve. Kenzie says, you are beautiful and don't deserve any hate. I'm sorry people are so mean. And then the Fantastic says, but you posted this caption for clout, didn't you? Go ahead, delete this. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen and make your page private. Hashtag clout chaser. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Now, we know the internet's full of wild and crazy deranged people, so you can always find haters and lovers and a little bit of both. But I hope she realizes she's been nothing but perfectly respectful in the way she's told her story and shared her receipts. And with that might come, look, does Erich have mess from his past, the Jimi Hendrix blackface photo that he's had to address? Yes. Does he have mess from his recent past, this 22 thing? Yes. And could it mean the end for his relationship with Gabby? It could. But at the same time, we have to give grace and space for Gabby to figure this all out. She's in the middle of preparing to be dancing on Dancing with the Stars live TV. She's got all these things going on. She's going to find this out, and it's going to be a shock. This is for sure going to be a shock to her. And when you love somebody and you find this out, it's going to be, is she willing to be invested in Erich as he tries to emerge from this a better person? And sometimes you can emerge as a better person with somebody by your side, and sometimes you have to do that solo. As we mentioned, with all the other adversities he's had to deal with, his dad passing away from a tragic and painful illness, we have to give grace to all parties involved. You have to. These are the moments where you have to practice that. You might say, he doesn't deserve this and that. That's when you have to practice it, not when it's convenient for you. For the tough moments when you go, Jesus, how the hell are we going to wrap our fingers around this one? She's a human, he's a human, and they're going to try their best moving forward, and we're going to cover it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal. We'll have a live stream later on today after I get home from the vet, and we'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Again, if you want to chime in, leave a voicemail, 401-213-9828. We'll talk to you all in a little bit, and don't you dare send them messages. Bye, guys.